Before we get into the weeds, I'd really love to introduce Dean Boon Thau Loo, the Senior Associate Dean for Graduate Education and Global Initiatives, who would like to welcome you to today's event.
Thank you, Abby. First of all, congratulations. It's so wonderful to see all of you here. Being admitted to one of our Penn Engineering master's programs, that by itself is a very significant achievement. We have a very large number of applicants and in a very competitive year. So this really reflects your hard work and dedication. And we're so glad that you're able to make it here today. So I'll start off by saying that this is a very exciting time at Penn Engineering. Our faculty are working in a lot of emerging, exciting areas like AI, health, and sustainability. And many of our students, and we certainly hope you'll be one of them, are actively engaged in that process, both in and beyond the classroom. And we are continuing to invest in your experiences. We've just opened the Amy Gutman Hall, which is an amazing new facility for all things data science and AI, and also the Vagelos Laboratory that focuses on energy science. And we have also expanding ourselves academically. You're going to hear about the new energy and sustainability program today and also new emerging programs in areas like cybersecurity. Now, one of the things we take pride of is our graduates from the master's program. Many of them go on to amazing careers. Some of them continue on to PhD programs. Some move on to industry or launch their own ventures. And we also pride ourselves that we have very strong career outcomes, both in terms of high starting salaries and also feedback from our industry partners and recruiters that really reflect both the preparation and the strength of all of you. Um, so I also like to make a special call out to the international students who are in the audience. Many of us were former international students. We certainly share the excitement and the challenges of coming to a new environment. And we'd like you to know that we are here to support you no matter from where you are from. I think today we have staff from ISSS who'll be here to guide you along. And the one thing I would like to remind you is if you have not yet started, please get your visa process started as soon as possible and reach out to ISSS or to any one of us if you have any questions. Once again, thank you, congratulations, and we are very excited to welcome you here to Penn Engineering, and we look forward to seeing what you can accomplish here and beyond. Thank you, Abby. I'll hand it off back to you.
Great. Thank you so much, Dean Liu. So just to talk through the schedule of events for the rest of today's session. We're going through the welcome, and I have a little bit of information of what you can expect for next steps as an incoming student. And then we are going to be joined by Jeremy Spoor with the International Student and Scholar Services Office, who will do a brief presentation, as well as Alyse Edwards from the Office of Academic Services. After those two present, we will collect any questions that are better suited for the larger group for just a live Q&A session. And then after that, we will open up breakout rooms for you. Those breakout rooms will include the ISSS office, the OAS office, and then each program. So we really want to make sure that you utilize this time to get any questions you have answered, whether that's from the program that you were admitted into or some of these other offices that can provide a lot of guidance and support. So a couple of things to talk through in terms of next steps. One of which is transcripts. So when you are getting ready to enroll, if you have not already confirmed your enrollment, we will ask you many, many times for your final official transcripts that do contain degree conferral. So what does degree conferral mean? That's really the date on which you have met all requirements to graduate. So if you are currently enrolled in a program and you are at that super exciting time where you're getting ready now to graduate, it's right on the horizon, there's not much you can do to meet this requirement at this time. We don't want you to do it too early because then we will ask you to do it again, and that's not going to be super helpful. So for anyone who is studying in the United States, we will require any final official transcripts with degree conferral from schools that you have or will be graduating from. And if you're studying outside of the United States, we do require a course by course evaluation that has to come from a NACES accredited organization. So there's a huge list of different NACES accredited organizations. I have listed a couple of the ones that we get positive reports back from students in that they are pretty expeditious with their processing. So you don't have to use these, but you're encouraged to if they are helpful to you. And those transcripts do also have to contain degree conferral. We really need to make sure that you have graduated from your undergraduate program. And this process can take up to 8 weeks. So it is best to start as early as possible once you have graduated. Today, these are the programs that are going to be joining us. So depending on the program that you were admitted into, as I mentioned, you will be able to speak with program staff that are going to help answer any questions you have about campus life, about registering for classes, anything you might need to gain more information about to make your informed decision, you'll be able to do that today. A couple of next steps that you might be wondering about. The enrollment deadline, if you have not already confirmed that you plan to join us at Penn Engineering, that date is June 1st at 11:59 p.m. EST. So you do have plenty of time between now and then to get any questions or concerns answered or reviewed. There's a couple of different ways to confirm your enrollment if you haven't done so. There's a link in your decision letter that links you directly to a decision confirmation form. You can also navigate to the application checklist in your application status portal directly. And from there, you'll be able to accept or decline your offer of admission. If you accept, you'll be prompted to pay an enrollment fee, an enrollment deposit, and this deposit is then credited to your student account for your first semester's tuition. Some other next steps that you can expect in the coming weeks once you do accept your offer is information on how to set up your Penn key, which is essentially your Penn email and how you log into different Penn systems. And then when the time comes, how to obtain your Penn card, which is your Penn ID card. For international students, you'll get information about how to begin the visa process and then reminders and information throughout that process as well. You'll get invited to the Penn Engineering Graduate New Student Orientation that will happen in closer to the end of August before classes start. A lot of in-person events, a lot of program-specific events, and that's going to be a great time for us to finally meet face-to-face. You'll also get information on how to complete your wellness requirements with Wellness at Penn. And of course, as I mentioned, information on sending us your final official transcripts with degree conferral. And I already went through that slide, so ignore that. So now I'm going to pass the baton over to Alyse Edwards, who works in the Office of Academic Services. Alyse, take it away.
Great. Thank you, Abby. Hello. It's lovely to meet everyone. I know I can't see you, but lovely to have you with us. And congratulations on your admission to Penn Engineering. So I'm just going to go over what our office does. I'm housed in the Office of Academic Services. I don't think I told you exactly what I do. I'm the Director for Graduate Affairs. So basically, I work with all of the master's and PhD students in Penn Engineering. And our office, we kind of like to think of ourselves as a hub. So we can help you with many different types of concerns, issues. The one thing we don't do is your programmatic advising. We leave that to your faculty advisors, your program administrators. But some of the things we can help you with are if you decide you want to perhaps switch programs, add a second major or degree, if you need to take a leave of absence, if you have a change in your student status. For our international students, lots of acronyms there, CPT, OPT, RCL. Those are things we can help advise you on in conjunction with your ISSS advisor. We can also point you to resources outside of engineering, and we are the office that manages graduation. So looking ahead, so we can help with things like that. So although we don't actually help you with course registration, I did want to give you some information because I know that is hot and heavy topic. I'm sure that's what's on everyone's mind. Course registration for new students happens over the summer. Right now, we are wrapping up the spring semester. And once we get through that, we can turn our attention to you, our incoming students. We use a system called Path at Penn, and that's where you will be able to do many different things, including register for your classes. I know today on the call are some of the program administrators, and if you go to your breakout rooms, they can definitely answer your questions about specific registration policies within the departments. Things to keep in mind, a lot of the times courses fill up, there are wait lists. So when you get the information in early summer, you will be able to pick your classes. Some classes require a permit. And again, your graduate administrator can explain that and walk you through that. I have a couple links there. One is a list of all of the program contacts for the master's and PhD programs. So that's either the graduate group chair, the program director, or the graduate administrator. And then the graduate handbook is kind of what we live by in our office. So that has all kinds of good information, policies, procedures, some of the things I was just referencing on the first slide can all be found in our handbook. And then it's hard to believe looking ahead to fall since we're still finishing up spring, but it will be here before we know it. As Abby mentioned earlier, we kick things off on August 21st with new student orientation. We have a large event. It's for all graduate students, so PhD and master's students. We bring you all together and we have colleagues from around campus who will come speak with you and throw lots of great information your way. But as we said before, it's a great way to meet you and get everyone together. We officially begin fall on August 25th. Some important dates, which you absolutely do not have to remember these right now because we will send out many, many reminders. But we do have specific deadlines about when you can add and drop classes. So September 8th and then hop down to October 5th. Again, no need to worry about those dates right now. Before we know it, in late October, you're already looking ahead and planning your classes for spring. And then we wrap up by mid to late December. Linked at the bottom there is the graduate academic calendar. We keep that updated with all the dates, some of these dates and things that you should follow. Again, we send reminders out throughout the semester. So I'll be in a breakout room. If there's any general questions, I'm happy to answer them there. And good luck, and we hope to see you in the fall.
Thanks so much, Alyse. And now I'm going to pass it over to Jeremy Spoor, who works with the International Student and Scholar Services Office, also known as ISSS.
Thank you, Abby. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jeremy Spoor. I'm the Associate Director of ISSS here at Penn, and I'm also the liaison to engineering school, to SEAS. So I work very closely with folks like Alyse Edwards and Dean Loo and Ishani Agarwal. I see a lot of my friends here in the panel. And I want to introduce a little bit about our office. And the ISSS at Penn has a twofold mission. The first core part of that being immigration services, help with your I-20s, visa processing, travel, etc. But the other piece of it that really makes us unique among schools in the US and in the Ivy League is that we have a second part of our mission, which is to really drive the integration of our students into the Penn community. Really, so you are considered an international student. Yeah, that's true, but we really want everyone to feel that you are a Penn student. So we have a lot of activities and opportunities for international students and American students to integrate and interact with each other throughout your career at Penn. And that's a unique feature that we bring to the Penn community. So yeah. So our main piece that we do that's relevant to you right now is immigration services. So many of you are probably in the process of applying for your I-20 or a DS 2019 if you're going to be a J1 student, but those are rare. But probably applying for an I-20. Once you arrive here in late August and we register you as being arrived in the US, you will be assigned to your own personal ISSS advisor throughout your career here. That person is visible in our IPEN system and also in the main student portal for the whole university, Path at Penn. So you know who the person is, and you can interact with them and ask questions throughout your time here. And we help out with things like travel, employment, visas, maintaining your status. And we have advising. Mostly it's done online on Zoom throughout, basically 9 to 5 days a week. We have different advising times. And we also have some in-person advising here on campus. So next slide. And then, so right now you're probably in the process of applying for your I-20 with ISSS. And you will do that through our IPEN system, which is just a database that contains all of our international students. So we will generate your initial attendance I-20 that we will send out to you in the form of a PDF. So you can make an appointment at the local consulate or embassy in your country and hopefully get here by mid to late August. And then throughout your time here, we'll help with travel, employment, and anything else that you need your I-20 for. So right now, I want to urge everybody that if you're an accepted student and hopefully you've paid your deposit and you're coming to join us in Philadelphia, please apply for your I-20. Get into IPEN, upload your documents, and we will try to turn that I-20 around to you as soon as we can. Hopefully, maybe, no more than 10 to 15 business days. We try to get them back as quick as we can. So that students can make their appointment at the local consulate or embassy. As Dean Loo mentioned, please don't wait on this. We know that there may be processing delays. So we're almost to May, and you want to get that I-20 and try to make that appointment in your country so that you can arrive here in August. And this may be challenging for some of you for appointments or delays in visa processing, but we will help you as much as we can. We will give advice. We will give documents if needed, but I want you to understand that we cannot change that appointment date for you. We can't make that appointment. That has to be done by you in your country with the local consulate or embassy. And then once you get here in mid-August, late August, we need you to do that online arrival form in IPEN to tell us that you are here. Okay, you've arrived in the US, you're in F1 status, you're going to start class at Penn. It will take us a couple of weeks to register everybody and give you your assigned advisor. And we will give you a new I-20 with a travel signature on it. That's your continued attendance I-20. But we won't do this process until you are physically in the United States. You need to be physically here before we can do the arrival. And then as Alyse mentioned a little bit about enrollment and classes, when you get here in the fall, you must be full-time. Okay, international students across the board, no matter what school or major you have, you need to be full-time. Basically, every semester that you're here, There are some exceptions to this rule, but I really want you to think, okay, I'm going to be full-time, which at Penn, as a graduate student, means you're taking three credit units, which is 3 classes. Um, you do have the drop add time in late August and early September, where you might be shopping around for classes, and that's okay. We understand you may not know immediately, and we understand that timing, but by mid-September, we will be checking everyone's enrollment very carefully and making sure that you're full time. And if you're not full time, that any semester that you're here, we will chase you. Okay. And I will reach out to my colleagues at C's, to Alyse or Ishani, and I will say, hey, what's this guy doing? He's under enrolled. He doesn't have any classes. What's going on? So I want you to have that mindset that you're always going to be full time. All right, here's our socials. Please keep in touch with us, and you can see a lot of things that are occurring right now as we prepare for graduation and have various activities around campus with our international students, and then to get you prepared for August, because we will have a lot of international student orientation events for all of you when you arrive here in late August. So that's it for me. I'll throw it back to C's.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Jeremy.
Sure.
And so now I am going to just see if there's any questions that have come in that are really great for the larger group, for any policies, any questions. I know one question did come in that I just want to address briefly in terms of if you need to defer your enrollment. We get that question a lot. We allow students to defer their enrollment for up to 1 academic year. So if you need to defer, you could defer to fall of 2027. Beyond that, if you need to defer further, you would have to reapply for a future year. In the deferral process, there's a brief form to fill out. You can only do this after you have accepted your offer of admission. So just keep that in mind, that you have to do that step first. And then from there, I'm going to see if any other questions have come in. I'm going to just stop sharing my screen for now. So someone asked when it's possible to obtain an ID card. So oftentimes, and I think this is true, Alyse, correct me if I'm wrong, typically you can get your ID card when you come to campus. So often students will get it during NSO or if they arrive before NSO, but that is typically when students will get their Penn ID card. We have an ID card center where you go, you can get your picture taken, you can pre-submit a photo and have it printed. And that is where you will always, either if you need to get a new card in the future, if you lose a card, that is all where all Penn ID card events take place. And someone's asking about what they need to do in the wellness platform. So just a little bit of a background on wellness at Penn. That is the office that handles any really any wellness related things for incoming or returning students. So if there are any wellness requirements that you need to do in terms of campus required vaccinations or things like that, you would do that through the wellness platform. You can also opt into student insurance from the wellness platform if you need to do that as well. And there are other, of course, wellness support opportunities as well. So once you become a student, once you enroll, any resources for physical, mental, emotional health will really be navigated through the wellness portal.
Abby, I was just going to add to you said it or captured it perfectly, and I can put the link in there. But the two big things for incoming students are just what Abby mentioned, your immunizations, and it explains what you need to upload, and also insurance. So as she mentioned, you can either opt in for the student insurance, which we call PSIP, or if you have your own coverage, then you can waive out of it, but you have to do one or the other, either get the PSIP or waive. So all of these things, immunization, insurance, can all be handled through the wellness portal. And I'll get that link in the chat.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Alyse. Okay. Any other questions, maybe for the larger group? I'm seeing some questions that are really going to be great for the breakout rooms in terms of specific classes to register for and the registration process and things like that. So both as Alyse said, your program is going to be the first step in terms of specific course registration conversations that you might be having in the next couple of weeks or so. So I would save any of those questions for the larger breakout room or for the your program specific breakout room.